Right now, inside your head, there is a ghost. Not the spooky, rattling chains kind. This ghost is much more dangerous. It is the perfect you. The perfect you has it all figured out. They wake up at 5 a.m. without an alarm. They have the body of an athlete, the bank account of a mogul, and the discipline of a monk. They have written the book. They have started the business. They have lived the life you have been dreaming about for, how long has it been? 5 years? 10? You know exactly what that version of you looks like? You can feel the weight of their trophy. You can smell the leather of their car. You might even believe with every fiber of your being that you are capable of becoming them. But then the sun comes up. The day passes. The week disappears. And the perfect you remains exactly what they were yesterday. A ghost. A phantom of potential. Why is it that we can imagine the summit of the mountain so clearly, yet we cannot seem to put on our hiking boots? Why does our brain seem to love the idea of success but hate the act of achieving it? Today we are going to look into the dark closet of the human psyche to find out why your brain is actively sabotaging your dreams. And fair warning, the answer is not laziness. It is something much more haunting. Psychology has a name for this gap between who we are and who we want to be. And the first reason we get stuck is a glitch in our internal reward system. It's called cognitive simulation. When you talk about your big dreams, when you tell your friends about that game-changing startup idea or you visualize yourself crossing the marathon finish line, your brain does something sneaky. It cannot quite tell the difference between a vivid imagination and a literal reality. In psychology, imagining success releases small amounts of dopamine. It gives you a participation trophy just for thinking. You feel a sense of achievement. You feel productive. But because your brain already got a hit of that satisfaction, the biological urgency to actually do the work evaporates. You have already eaten the dessert. Why would you bother cooking the meal? This is not a new problem. History is littered with the great unfinished. We often look at icons like Edison or Da Vinci and think they were driven by a constant stream of inspiration. But the mystery is not why they succeeded. It is why millions of others with equally brilliant ideas never even picked up a pen. We think we are waiting for the right moment. We tell ourselves, I will start when I have more money, or I will start when I feel ready. But readiness is a psychological mirage. Behavioral science shows that readiness is a byproduct of action, not a prerequisite for it. You do not feel ready to jump into cold water until you are already wet. By waiting for the perfect time, you are effectively waiting for a bus at a station that has not been built yet. And while you wait, something else is happening. You are thinking. And you are thinking. And you are exhausted. This brings us to the third gear in the machine of inaction, analysis paralysis. When you have a big dream, you do not just see the dream, you see the 10,000 steps it takes to get there. You analyze every outcome, every possible failure, every what if. This constant simulation drains your cognitive load. By the time you have finished thinking about how to start, your brain is as tired as if you had actually spent 8 hours working. You have used up your willpower on a ghost. But there is a deeper, more structural reason why we stay stuck. It is not just about energy, it is about identity. Your brain is a preservation machine. Its job is not to make you happy or successful. Its job is to keep you consistent. If you see yourself as someone who struggles, or someone who is undisciplined, or just a dreamer, your brain will subconsciously sabotage any action that contradicts that identity. Think of it like a mental thermostat. If you start acting like a high achiever, your internal temperature rises. Your brain panics. This is not who we are, it screams. It then triggers a cooling mechanism, procrastination, doubt, or sudden fatigue, to bring you back to your comfortable level of mediocrity. This is why so many of us are addicted to potential. Potential is sexy. Potential is infinite. Potential means you could be the best in the world. But the moment you put paint on that canvas, the potential dies. Now, it is just a painting, and maybe it is a bad painting. As long as you stay in the planning phase, your dream remains perfect. The moment you act, you risk the dream becoming mediocre. You risk facing who you actually are right now, rather than who you could be. But let us zoom out, beyond the dopamine and the thermostats. There is a philosophical paradox at the heart of this struggle that most people never realize. In ancient Greece, philosophers like Plato and Aristotle struggled with a concept called akrasia. Akrasia is the state of acting against your better judgment. It is knowing exactly what you should do and yet doing the opposite. But why would a rational being do that? Maybe it is because we intuitively understand something terrifying. To act is to die. Think about the ship of Theseus. If you replace every plank of a ship, is it still the same ship? Now apply that to yourself. If you actually achieve your dreams, if you become that perfect you, the current you effectively ceases to exist. We talk about self-improvement as if it is an addition, but real change is a subtraction. It is a series of small deaths. To become a writer, you have to kill the person who spends their evenings watching television. To become an athlete, you have to kill the person who identifies with comfort. We stay stuck because we are grieving for ourselves. We are protecting the current version of me from the me that is waiting to take over. There is a strange comfort in the eternal now of the dreamer. In your head, your dream is safe from the entropy of time. It is safe from the judgment of others. It is safe from the decay of reality. But a dream that stays in the head is not a dream, it is a prison. It is a beautiful, gilded cage made of what-ifs. The truth is, the reason you are not acting is not because you are afraid of failing. It is because you are afraid of changing. You are afraid that if you finally reach the summit, you will not recognize the person standing there. The difference between the person who dreams and the person who does is not talent. It is not even motivation. It is the willingness to be uncomfortable. It is the courage to be a bad version of your future self today so you can be a good version tomorrow. You do not need a perfect plan. You do not need to feel ready. You just need to be okay with the ghost of your potential disappearing and the messy, flawed reality of your effort taking its place. Stop protecting the person you are. They are already destined to become the past. The only question is, what kind of future will you give them? If this made you look at your own ghost a little differently, hit that subscribe button. We are exploring the strange, beautiful, and often terrifying machinery of the mind every week. Now, go do that one thing you have been thinking about. You know the one. Don't think. Just start.